I'm Louise Fletcher and I help artists to find their own unique creative voice, and I'm sitting in front of some paintings in progress that are on my painting wall. I've just stopped to let things dry, and I was thinking about this question that I wanted to pose to you. Do you know what your art is about? Do you know who you are as an artist? Do you know why you're doing what you're doing? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. When I feel like I don't, when I lose sight of why I'm doing what I'm doing, paintings go off the rails. When I get a glimpse into who I am, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, then paintings can move forward. It doesn't mean they always work. Most of the ones behind me are not working properly yet, but it does mean that they move forward in a way where I feel satisfied, I feel engaged, I feel rewarded by having worked on them because I know what I'm doing and why. So some of you will be saying, yes, of course I know, in which case, hopefully you turn off this video because you don't need it. But if you're one of the people who are saying, no, actually, that's my problem, I don't know why I'm doing this, I think the problem you have is just not enough self-reflection. And that's good because that is easy to correct. A lot of us think that being an artist is holding a brush, is making paintings, is being in a studio or in a workspace, is applying paint or drawing materials or using ceramics or making music or whatever it is we do. But actually, I think a lot of it, or certainly for me, a lot of it is the time I spend on reflection, which I would say is not enough in my case, what made me think of making this video. When I spend time in reflection, which can be journaling, it can be going for a walk and thinking, it can just be sitting in the bath, it can be taking a month off painting altogether and just letting thoughts percolate, working in sketchbooks. When I spend time on that stuff, my art benefits because I start to get a clear idea of what I want to do next. And I'm quite diverse in what I want to do. Like today, coming into the studio, I wanted to continue on these abstract paintings. I also wanted to do some work with ink. Also felt like I wanted to do a self-portrait. Now, I can't do all that in one day. Oh, and make some videos for YouTube. So I can't do all that in one day. So I had to pick. So I get it if you're one of those people, with all sorts of ideas. But we've got to kind of let that jumble of ideas, let all those things percolate, and then start figuring out what we most care about. So finding out what the why of your art is really finding out the why of you. What do you care about? What fascinates you? What draws your attention? What do you photograph when you're out on walks? What do you think about most? What do you watch documentaries about? What do you read books about? What do you talk to people about? You might say, look, I'm not that interesting. I like trees, I like Taylor Swift, and I like the colour blue. It's not interesting. Are you sure? Are you sure there are not people out there dying to see blue paintings of Taylor Swift surrounded by trees? I bet there's somebody there who would love to see those paintings. And anyway, even if there wasn't, you want to make them. And if you wanting to make them is enough, do you see? You wanting to make them is what this is all about. What'll happen after that is what'll happen after that. But what do you care most about? But what usually happens is someone will say, well, I care most about Taylor Swift and the colour blue and trees, but I'm painting abstract florals because I've heard those sell really well. Or I'm painting landscapes because my friend paints landscapes and she does really well with them. Or I'm painting hyper-realistic portraits of people in my village because I was commissioned to do a project and now I can't get out of it. We have a gazillion reasons for doing things in our art which are not what's really calling to us from in here. But if you went and made that Taylor Swift blue painting with trees in it, you might not always make those paintings, but it would lead you to the next thing that's for you, and the next thing that's for you, and the next thing that's for you. And it's magic if you let the art lead the way. That is why self-reflection is so important. And that is what I just wanted to pop on here today and say, that If you feel a bit lost with your art, if you don't know where to go with it, whether you're a beginner or a really experienced pro, in my experience, the answer is always the same. You've lost touch with what's in here, and you just need to spend some time getting back in touch with it, because we all have things of interest. If Smurfs are your very favourite thing, paint Smurfs and there will be people who want to see them. It really doesn't matter what it is that you care most about. Someone else, other people will care too. And even if they never did, you would have the satisfaction of bringing your Smurf paintings to life. So these might be some silly examples, but I hope you get the point. Whatever you care about, whatever you want to express, that's what we want to see. We don't want to see pale imitations of other people. We don't want to see you in a cage, in a box, doing what you think you should do. We want to see you, all of you, doing what you were put here to do. So it's time to go inside yourself, think more about what you're interested in, and then move in that direction, and you will see the magic start to happen. If you want advice and tips from me, by the way, I have a free newsletter. Every Sunday, I send out a newsletter with one short, thought-provoking message or painter's tip, usually a video and maybe a link to my podcast, but just a quick roundup. Always something to think about, always something interesting. So if you want to grab that, the link is below this video here on YouTube, or with the post if you're watching this somewhere else. And in the meantime, I'll see you next time. Bye.